Hello and welcome. It's Monday. It's Roller Wiener Monday. Can you believe it already? Get your wieners out and let's get going. They're 2 for $3 for grill items, apparently. And they have egg rolls too. That's pretty good. So Roller Wiener Monday, Taco Tuesday tomorrow, or whatever day. And let's see what is happening. You know, there's a big recall in Cascadia. Do you have one of these? Get ready to take it back. Operation Safe Driver is in effect. Are you operating safely? All right. And the civil disturbance thing for emergencies. So the FMCSA has come out with a little bit of guidance and to tell you exactly what to do. Companies have increased their tech install with Lytics even though they complain that they can't get drivers and that there's been no freight. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I have some rates and some stock prices. And that's what is happening here among many other things. Kelly Preston died. That is terrible. So if anybody heard about that? So there we go with that. And here we are. And let's see. First was Ryan O'Ryan the other day and Christina. All right. And today was Wild Bill and Misty had a race for first place today. So there you are. So welcome to the show, everybody. And it is good to see you here. Todd is here. And let's see here. Kenneth Schneider is here today. That's good. Paul Harris, what's going on? Yeah, it's hot in Houston there, Kenneth. The yikes. It's only 80 here today with a 59 dew point. So about time. That's super good. Give the air conditioning a break. Mike Scott is here. What's happening? DA is here. Let's see. Where am I going? Oh, Mike Muller. What's going on? Free roller wieners. Oh, for essential workers. That'd be great, wouldn't it? That'd be super good. Would we be considered on that, though? I'm not sure about that. The flip-flop fool is here. Probably at a fuel island near you. So it's good. Imperial, New York City. What's going on? Let's see, everyone, let's see, where am I? Oh, Kelly, right, what's happening? Having us, Michael Muller, yeah, let's see, that doesn't good. Gustavo, hello there. Where did I go? I've already lost my place. For new people, I lose my place quite regularly here. The Rooster is here, there I am. Steven is here, hello. Cassius King Trucking is here. Should go check that out for some good information for sure. Old Cronies Garage. Hey, we talk about wieners all we want here. Roger Penske. You made a homemade roller wiener. They're so cheap, 2 for $3. Johnsonville better cheddar on the cube. On the cube, like the continuum. Yes, queuing when 112 degrees. Oh, in the queue. Got it. Oh, very English of you. Nice. At least the air hopefully is working there. Edgar, what's going on? Let's see. Paul Vines, hello. Loves has the best roller wieners. Yes, that you should tell them that. Anytime you go in there, always compliment their wieners. Let's see. So small pallet company, excavating contractor can accommodate. Yeah, dude, shop around. I mean, with all that time in, you have plenty of experience, but companies are going to be like, oh, it isn't recent, so you got a problem. So Salty Pirate TV, hello. Grafton is here. Fleet Nav Systems is here today. So hello for you. Hello on that. Let's see. Oh, I have a card for them. They're live on Tuesdays, live on Fridays. So there you go. Go over there. They have a lightning round at the end of their live show with gifts. All right, so huge gifts, I've heard. Cars, houses. Better than HGTV, they said. On the last show, that was pretty exciting. Go check them out. So that would be pretty good if they could arrange that. William Hewlett is here. Dave Johnson. Hey, I'm glad that you're here. Dan Terlecki from Michigan is here. Nice. Stephen Manuel, first time on the Q&A. All right, well, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Safety Blitz, Clay, yeah, they're talking about speeding, following too close, wearing a seatbelt, distracted driving, anything about the driving that's unsafe. That's what the Blitz is this week. All over the country, 12 to 18. So don't be doing anything like that big accident that just happened, right? Oh, what state was that? How could I forget that? A ton of trucks. I wrote this down, right? Where was it? Oh, Pennsylvania. And they said, oh, it's probably due to the weather. That's what drivers are saying. No. So one truck passes another one in a huge downpour. They crash. And then in the ensuing backup, another semi slams into stopped vehicles. An accident. They went on a detour. There were accidents on that. Right. Too fast for conditions. All right. Slow down in that kind of weather. Crazy. George H.W. Bush, the president, is here today. Kelly, like carne asada tacos. Oh, Percy with hot sauce. Yeah, always heat them up. Get the hot ones. Spice it up, right? What's the point? All mild? What is that? What kind of life is that? I shorten my YouTube name. No one specific. Thank you. Yes, we can't go into the third line. Once it becomes a paragraph, it's too long of a name. My Wiener roller, I'd powered by a V8. That would be great if you can't hardly get them anymore. Chipotle, oh, it takes too long to get out of that place. Luke, 123 my air is being repaired for the fourth time this summer. The Mac is unreliable. But who makes the air? I mean, who makes the air conditioning for that? Mac doesn't certainly make that's outsourced to somebody. They should buy better. They should get a better supplier and say, what is the deal with these stupid air conditioning? What about Martin, Christina? Yeah, I've liked Martin. You know, they have this guaranteed detention pay and stuff, so I really like that. They've gone a lot to intermodal. That's the word. They put a lot of stuff on the rail, so they don't have as long a load as they used to have. They've cut their load distance down, but at least you get guaranteed detention there. Guaranteed detention. Egg rolls are the best thing going on the roller things. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. You're gonna get gonna get you in trouble. I just heard that. It's not specified, but that possibly better gifts than HGTV gives out on their annual thing. There is a lightning round at the end. Be sure to answer all the questions. Kim English, glad to be here. Well, I'm glad everybody's here. You know, thank you for coming in. I can't do this without all of you. Of course, it would just be me talking to the computer, which would look ridiculous, and everybody would laugh at me, except there'd be nobody there but the cat. Anybody else know about how the low wages in Tennessee, is it a southern thing? Well, they pay every company pays the least they can pay. So the good thing about trucking, if you're over the road, any company that comes by your house basically will hire you probably because they can get you home. So you don't have to tolerate a Tennessee company. Go find a company from somewhere that pays better. So that's always a good thing about that. Alexandra's here. Good morning, drivers and Mark. Hello there. It's good to see you. Michael Muller, who do I not work for? I do not work for England. About that, although I do have one of their hats. You know, you can just buy, they let anybody buy them. Isn't that amazing? Dispatch tricked me into dropping a trailer behind a 10-hour break. They want to take my safety bonus. Nice, Adam. That's pretty good. Because because of a log violation? I hope you kept all that stuff that you got in writing, you know, that you took pictures of that or what. You shouldn't do it, of course, but now that it's done, if you got all that in writing, you know, there's the deal. I love it. George Wilson, I love companies like that. Then they're like, I don't know why we can't keep drivers at this place. What is going on? They're in their meeting. You know, what is happening? George Wilson can't believe the year's half over. I know. Half over? What have you done this year of anything good? Hardly anything. We've all been sitting around quarantine, basically. Distracted driving. Wonder if this guy trucks is recording videos while driving. Maybe. Does he record a lot of videos while driving? That would probably be considered distracted driving from a cop. But how would the police know you're doing it? I don't know about that. Al Johns, I'm late, but here, yes. So good. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I don't think you should record while you're driving. Okay. Personally, I don't do that. I don't put any videos out. If you record a video, though, and you talk over it later, a voiceover later, you can do that. Like have the recording, and you can, in an editing, you can talk over it. So there's always that. Old Cronies Garage 2020's been a dumpster fire every year. It's been a dumpster fire for a lot of places. So it was just like fell off a cliff, right? The country just, they're like, you know what? Let's close the country. We had enough of this country. Just close it for a while. Adam's going to switch companies this week. More pay, home weekends, and no cameras. That's the way to do it. And all these companies are putting Lytx in. Lytx was all proud about how many cameras. Who was it? I wrote the name down. Oh, Ozark. Right? They made a big deal about Ozark. They're installing Lytx. And this is what Ozark said. I love it. Drivers will not have to wait to be coached until they get back to a terminal. Isn't that great? They'll send them a video and you can basically agree to it right in your truck. What if you don't agree to it? And also, I love this. It includes owner-operators. Are you really an owner-operator if they make you put a camera in your truck? Who owns a truck? Alexander's delivering, then going home, going to play with the kiddies. Oh, that's pretty awesome. They're waiting for you. A Wild Bill, who do I drive for? Yeah, well, that's the thing. For new people on the channel or whatever, I don't ever say where I drive. It keeps the channel better that way. I think keeps them out of my videos, too. Keeps them out of the background of your videos. You know, like, hey, Mark, you can't say that kind of stuff. Also, I don't recruit for them. Everybody, as soon as they go to a company, they're there 5 minutes. They put on the shirt the company gives them, and boom, they're like, hey, this is the best company ever. Here's my recruiting thing. Because they get a lot of money in recruiting bonuses. I don't do any of that. Let the company recruit for themselves. Hey, Mark, I heard Maverick is changing the guarantee back to 1,000. Oh, yeah, where'd you hear that? Did they? Well, of course, they never posted the shorter guarantee. So I guess if you work there and they said it, it's about time. They should have never changed it to 750. And good for them. They left it on their website. So it's always showed 1,000 on there. I guess they figured we'll just leave it on there and eventually we'll just go back to it. Highway Freak is heading to Bend, Salem to pick up a trailer full of ice cream that they said are pretty sure is out of fuel, and they don't know what it could be messy. Yes. How long has it been out of fuel? That's the problem. I'm sure they're going to say what? Go fill it up and start it. That's what. Then you got to open that stupid doors up, get in there and prime the stupid reefer. That's what do you have to do that anymore? Maybe you don't. These are on older ones. You had a primer. You had to prime the reefer to get the thing started, right? Like, you'd pump that thing for like 3 billion times. They go, just pump this 3 billion times approximately, and it should start. So that's how you used to have to start them. Misty saw an accident on I-15 between Baker and Vegas. The truck changed lanes and pushed a four-wheeler into a trailer and a trailer into the shoulder. Brilliant. Truck, when you say truck, do you mean a semi? Not paying attention. Jeanette, no roller wieners in Utah. Why not? As for the 4-year break, really, every time you change jobs, you start at the bottom, so just choose wisely. The problem with a 4-year break from the road, though, is some companies make you go with a trainer even. They'll make you go out with a trainer and say you don't have any recent over-the-road experience. So you have to go with a trainer for a certain period of time. Now, some don't, but be sure to ask them before you go there. Oh, my gosh. If you wear it, make it a parrot. Absolutely, always. 100%, especially this week. No distracted driving. No holding your phone. Okay, don't do any of that stuff. Chicken Holler, hello from Alabama. Hello. I mentioned 10 to 1 wiener to cat at least to start out with. My opinion, low Tennessee wages caused by Western and Covenant. That doesn't help, right? One place like Western pulls down basically the whole country like a black hole that everybody gets sucked into. And there was just been a discussion on LinkedIn. An astute viewer sent it to me about Western's do not disturb non-disclosure agreement. Apparently, they're enforcing it seriously now, sending out letters to companies. So if you work at Western and you quit before the end of your contract, they'll send a letter to that next company and say, hey, you cannot hire this driver. There was a post of it there, and there was a big discussion about it on LinkedIn. Gustavo, President Trump's wearing a mask. He is. I saw that. He was out wearing a mask. He was seeing like vets at a hospital though, right? Mark Drush for Highway Maintenance Crew, State of Indiana. That'd be a great job, wouldn't it? They do hire. I've always thought about doing, like the snow plowing in the winter because they hire, but you have to be available any time, it says on there. You don't get benefits. It pays, 28 something an hour plus overtime, I think I've seen, but you have to be available whenever they call you for the snow. So, because there's one in Lebanon, 20 some miles south of me here. Trump is done. He won't get reelected. Michael Mueller, maybe. You never know. That's what they said, at this time 4 years ago. So, racket maker. Hello from Mississippi. Truck has been in the shop for a month now. What the heck? Do you own the truck? Is this a company truck? Oh my gosh. Paul Harris, the last Guy Trucks video was facing forward, was just a rant, similar to using a blue parrot. Okay. A rant. All right. Trucking and Brokering Podcast. Hello, Fleet Nav. Hi from sunny Montana. All right. How's it going out there? Has the snow finally melted? So companies that use cameras have a long list of why to randomly turn the camera on so they can constantly make you feel watched. Yeah, companies like Ozark, though, there isn't, it's on all the time. There isn't like you get a choice or they don't have it on. It's on. So when you go there, they're having analytics, and what they're doing, they're sending you the video and you get to agree to it. That's what it said. You can agree to it remotely. It didn't say you can't not agree to it or anything like that. So I thought that was pretty good. My new job is tough. It feels like I've been in a car wreck. Johns, I know. I'll be used to it in a few weeks. You will hopefully get used to it. Right. That sounds like a lot of work. Trump's in prison 2021. Let's see about that. We'll see about that if that happens. I've seen a ridiculous amount of semi-wrecks. Semis into four-wheelers. Yeah, and like this Pennsylvania wreck. I mean, if you saw the pictures of it, it was crazy. Trucks are just running into the back of each other. Does anybody watch the road at all? Or are they all doing something else? I don't know what they're doing. Cassius King Trucking. My truck was showing outside temperature 129 in a huge parking lot. Yikes. I saw 123 before in Yuma on a bank sign. So I've seen that, and you got out, and it felt like it too. Like, ugh, you're just baking. I had to keep moving. I thought my shoes would melt to the ground. Heavy metal trucker ATS is putting lytics in all their trucks. Congratulations, ATS, for making the bottom list of companies. What the heck? But part of it, let's be honest about it now. We all hate them, but part of it is just like this accident in Pennsylvania. Okay? Why aren't drivers paying attention? Why are they following too close? Why are they running into stop traffic? Why is that happening? That's where the cameras come from. They come from our poor behavior. Alexander, you went to orientation with a guy who came over from Western. Oh, how long had he been at Western? Did he say? Chris, and what was he making there? I bet he got a raise. No matter where he went, he got a raise. Some pilots have signs up that they're running out of coins, so you have to pay exact change. Meyer told me that yesterday. Was that Meyer yesterday getting cat food and the papers, as always, on Sunday morning? What did it say there? Please, they didn't mandate it, but they said, please use a card or exact change because they can't get quarters. And I asked the lady ringing me up, who happens to be the manager there, somebody called off. I know her. I've been going in there for years. And she said, yeah. She goes, we can't get quarters and dimes. She goes, we asked for $2,000. They sent us $200. That's all they could send us. So they cannot get coins. She said they're just out of them. The mint closed. This is what she said. And from the COVID. And so they didn't make coins for a long time. So pretty interesting. Jeanette, the new carry reefer shuts down before the fuel goes dry, so no priming. Just turn it off, fill it up, and start. Okay, good. So they've got that figured out. Yeah, used to be it would just run out, and then you had to get the fuel somehow from down in that tank all the way up to the reefer, and there was a little plunger you had to push, I don't know, a million times, a long time before it would start. Do most companies have contracts? Most of these starter companies, large mega carriers, do make you sign a contract. They do. It just, some of them enforce it more than others. The CRST versus Swift lawsuit, which is cited in this letter by Western, I knew this would happen. They sued Swift. CRST sued Swift and said, look, you can't take our drivers. You can't. And the court agreed with them, which I don't necessarily agree with. And so now I knew this would put like a blanket over the whole industry. And now Western cites this case. They go, if you don't think we can enforce this, basically, that's not exactly what they said. Look at this lawsuit, and then they cite the lawsuit in there, and let us know if you have any questions, but you can't hire this person until they're done with us. So it's a problem. It's real. Be very careful. That's why I very much encourage people to go to truck school on their own, pay, even if you have to put on your own credit card, because you can then change companies and you don't owe Western $7,000 or whatever. You paid for it yourself. Highway maintenance in India is only like $15 or $16. No, the salt trucks, when they hire you for part-time salting, I've seen it for in the high 20s, not in the paper anymore, but on Craigslist and stuff in the fall. If you have a B license and experience for that, they'll hire you in to run salt, but it's only part-time, no benefits, and only when they need you. So like last winter, you would have made what, $200? Not much. Trucking Journeys is here from Poly Trucking, the high-paying company. That is always amazing. I've not worked for any that have contracts. Kelly, yeah, good. They didn't have those as far as I know when I started driving either. And but that has come up now. And so it quells you from leaving. So you're stuck, you're at Western, you're making $383 a week. I've gotten those checks from people. You've gone a week and make $383 gross, and you want to change companies, but you can't. Because the companies won't hire you because they send them this letter immediately. You're stuck. And so what do? You leave the whole industry, right? You just leave trucking. And how does that help the industry? Or how does that help Western? How does that help them at all? Michael Muller, every state has a different cost of living. That's why there's such a difference in pay. Yeah, corporations try to keep more money and keep pay. Well, of course, every corporation tries to pay people do the least amount of work possible so they don't get fired. And companies pay the least amount of possible so you won't quit. That's how it works. That's how every company works. Christine was almost hit yesterday in Louisville on 264 because an SUV was coming onto 264 and with their phone. Had to honk at her. Brilliant. Indiana just passed this law. No touching your phone. I don't think people will do it, though. What are people doing? Pay attention. Just drive. Get out there and drive. Where in Pennsylvania was this wreck? I didn't write it down. It's in Pennsylvania. I didn't write it down. It's on CDL Life. It's one of the first stories. Stephen, I have a huge change tray in my truck, and all this weekend I'm exchanging my coins for bills. Furthermore, some restaurants are running out of beef. What? What would Clara Peller say about that? Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3 in the bank was their interest rate. Back then it might have been, because that's true. Hey, and that was a low rate. Hey, this is a good housing rate right here. Yeah, that's a possibility. It's 100 in Dallas, Edgar. All right. Oh, that's pretty hot. It's been hot here. I'm happy for a couple of cool days. Cash is King Trucking. Most companies that pay for your schooling do have a contract and you pay them back for tuition. Yes. Some just enforce it heavily and some let it go. You know, they should keep their end of it too. There's never their end of it. Like, they should have to pay you at least a decent wage. $383 for 7 days because you're gone the whole week. That's not money. That's no money. $275 is minimum wage for 40 hours. Man, I got to say, poly trucking is working out for me. Making 25% or to 40% more than Smith. The money there is good. It really is. And I've seen those checks. That's that's really good money. They're changing the Washington Redskins name. Did they say they're going to do it? How does any of this help anything? Okay, I don't want to talk too much politics, but look, changing a name of something doesn't change people. Doesn't change people. You know, it just doesn't. It, if anything, it solidifies the base against you. So that doesn't help the case at all. If you really want to know how the country got divided, just look at the left. Oh, right, I'm on politics. Because drivers rely on the front collision sensoring used to throttle to tailgate. Oh, you should not do that. Do not drive the truck. That's why all these sensors, and that actually studies have shown that. The more of these goofy sensors with the truck drivers itself, the less people drive the vehicle themselves. Look at Tesla. People are sleeping in their cars. He was there 6 months, made 27 cents a mile, Alexander. Wow. And so if he gets a short week, say 1,500 miles, he's $400 for the week gross. Plus you got to feed your face at the truck stop and all that. Oh my gosh. He can't stay there. He can't stay there. Kelly, I'd like to see the cops be more aggressive in ticketing trucks that push traffic, get those drivers off the road. Totally right. If they would just crack down completely, I think that's the worst thing, is following too closely. Back up, people. Oh, what are you doing out there? Be safe. Drivers are always like, oh, it's always somebody else. It can't be somebody else. Poly is 56 cents on the hub. Yeah. Pulling dump trailer in Chicago, Todd, that's not bad. That should pay by the hour, right? Or some of them pay percentage, so we'll see. Oh, Cronies Garage, how do I change my blinker fluid? There are some old-time drivers on here that know how to do that. I will say sometimes the winch wash fluid was behind the seat of the truck in the cab, which I thought was brilliant. Norman, do not go to mom and pop truck driving school. Go to a community college or technical school. You need a school that is going to be the certain amount of hours, like a certified school, because some places also say that. If you have a license and no experience, you have to have gone to a truck school that is a certified school with so many hours. So consider that for the company you're going to. Make sure you go to a truck school that is a decent truck school. Found a place to park on I-69 south of Indianapolis. Where? Take exit 46, Indiana, 2.5 miles to the Sunoco on the right. No shower, but room for 10 to 15 trucks. Going south on 69 out of Indianapolis, you can also park at US 231. There is a truck stop on the south side of the road. That's usually where we stop on the way to Jasper. And it only has parking for 8 trucks maybe, but I don't know how many trucks park in there. So there's parking there too. It's right there on the interstate. I think that exit also has a motel. I think that exit will build up as like a truck stop exit because it's US 231. I don't know why that truck stop hasn't expanded their parking. I certainly would have by now. Christina, Rule's hamburger was 3 pounds for 12. Oh, Ruler? Yeah. You can measure the savings, right? 3 pounds for $12.99. I don't know if that's a lot or not. Is that a lot? Yep, trucking dealer still Smith, the long nose, nice. Waiting for $3.89. Time to trade at $2.27. I wish. Dave knows Clara Peller. I'm still seeing truckers using their phones even though the national law can. I don't understand it. Who doesn't have a headset now? Is there some reason to not have a headset? All these years later, it's not like they just passed this law last week, right? Why are we not wearing a blue parrot right now? There's no, and plus, it's just dangerous. So just put that headset on. Don't most of the trucks have Bluetooth? My 18 has Bluetooth built into it. You can use that too. So there's always that. It's not great. It doesn't sound great, but it'd be better than nothing. That is lunch money at those. Yeah, exactly. Guess we'll all be vegan truckers pretty soon. I need to have the beef. I guess so if you can't get it. Roller wieners are going to double in price. What was the recall? So these 2017 to 2021, there it is, Cascadias, are recalled. Most of them. If they have the collision avoidance thing on them, they're part of the recall because the brake valve that grabs the brakes automatically, that part of it, that valve is subject to corrosion because it wasn't sealed properly from the factory. And then it can grab the brakes unevenly if it fails. And so what will happen, it said in the recall, is that, say it senses something in front of you, who knows what, a firefly, anything. It might only grab the left side brakes for some reason, and you could result in an accident. So the trucks are going to come in and have that valve replaced. 17 to 21 Cascadias. Cassius King Trucking, I think they should name the Washington football team a derogatory term for white people. Yeah, let's do that. Right? We're not allowed to say anything about it, though. Let's see. So I lost my spot. Right. Curious about the recall ride. That was what that was. Good to have you calling last show. Christina, yeah, Fleet Nav, that was good. Everybody go over to their show tomorrow and say hello to them. I can attest to the sentence, my student rely on the radar instead of passing attention. I stopped letting them use the cruise. Yeah, exactly. People put this out there and rely on it, think like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. It's assistant. That's it. It works for you. You don't rely on it. Elder, anybody notice a company that only pay you fairly when you work all weekend? It depends what company you're at, right? You should get paid extra on the weekends. So I don't know if they're not paying you fairly. It would be a company that you should maybe consider leaving. Drivers who push traffic are part of the flip-flop fleet. Oh, that'd be a great name for a company, wouldn't it? But maybe their flip-flops got stuck underneath a pedal or something. Maybe they have those pedals that go down into the floor instead of hang from the top, and maybe that's the problem. What do you think about Millis? What do people think about Millis here? Anybody from Millis? I usually get a driver from Millis. Some of these accidents are because of the Freightliner recall. That automatic defect will pull your truck to the right, and you can't steer out of it. That might be partly true, certainly. Look, I don't like the automatic braking thing anyway. It goes off. There's a sign I go by every day for a left curve in the road. It thinks that because you're curving left, but the sign's right here. So it sees you coming up to the sign and hits the brakes. It's ridiculous. Watch militant vegetarians will have the Green Bay Packers change their name because Packers refers to a meat packer. Ugh. Are they next to come up? Are they going to tear down statues of Colonel Sanders? Christina, yes, this is a lot. I went up 4 weeks, about $4 a pack. Okay, I'll take your word for that then. We should not buy it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know the prices at the store. Steve, and I'm the one that does the shopping. I know I run Walmart loads, and when I arrive, I go in and do shopping. Also need to get a George Foreman grill for the trucks out of the truck stops. Absolutely. That is like the best grill. That guy's a genius. How many of those grills did he sell? 18 billion? Everybody's got one. We have one. Everybody has one. Getting ready to move to Dallas. $1,200 a month for 2-bedroom, 1-bath luxury apartment. Okay. $1,200. All right. That better be luxury here. You can, for that money, you get a 3-bedroom, bath and a half with an attached garage here in Lafayette. So, right over at Firefox, whatever that place is. Why is it every time we have an election, the economy gets screwed up and after it booms again? Isn't that amazing? That's to get the current occupant out of the office, whoever it is, so that the next occupant can get in. Kelly, my Note 10 has voice command, gestures, and stylus that can be used as a remote as well as Bluetooth. Yeah, look, if you have a phone made, in the last 5 or 6 years, probably 7 years, it probably has Bluetooth on it. It's been around for a long time. The Blue Parrot or any headset, any of the lesser quality headsets, will connect to it. So no excuses. Come on. Note 10, nice, by the way. Do you think I can get a job cutting and hauling cedar and pine posts? I don't know. You can do anything. There's a way to do anything you want. I will say that for Motivation Monday. Eddie McFadden. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Hey, what's happening? Packers, Raiders, let's see, Cash Game, Buccaneers, Patriots, Cowboys all need a name change. Oh, really? Who's left? Cubs? What about that? Are you white? I thought you were ginger. Yeah. Where's our group of people? Well, the problem is we can't go out and tear down statues because we get burned. The sun, we get all burned up. So we can only do this stuff later at night. And then by then we're tired. ATS pay is good. Just got 72 cents on a 660-mile run on the 23%. That's pretty good. But they still shouldn't do the cameras. Okay. But the problem is nobody will quit, of course. But, How are they benefiting? How is the company benefiting? Are they starting out like all companies do? Oh, don't worry, this is just to help you or whatever. You know, that's what they always say. It's never true. They'll eventually fire people for it. Jim Trucker, happy Roller Wiener Monday, everyone. Yes, it's finally Roller Wiener Monday again. I'm trademarking Flip Flop Fleet. We need to make videos about them. Oh, that'd be a great channel, wouldn't it? I pray they don't pick on Pontiacs and Indian motorcycles. Oh, Pontiac already gone. I wouldn't bet that Indian motorcycle wouldn't be one, though. You can disable auto braking by keeping your foot lightly on the throttle. Well, it shouldn't be on the truck. How about that? There shouldn't be have to disable it. In my truck, I can disable the lane keeping thing by just pressing the button. It doesn't turn back on. 18 billion grills, 2.1 grills per person. Sounds about right. Yeah, that's correct. The thing is, they break after a while, and you got to go buy another one. Christina doesn't have a George Foreman grill. You're behind the times. Yeah, go get one. They have every size, from like slider-sized ones to ones that you can grill like 40 hamburgers on it at a time. MTS, my company, 2020 company truck is pretty nice. The Cascadia, no driver aids. Nice. They ordered that way. Built in. North Carolina inspect to haul plastic pellets. 70 miles an hour. That's pretty good. That's a good way to do it. I like my Hot Logic Mini. I could put food in it and drive for 11 hours and it won't burn. Hot Logic. That's something you like. Is that plug into cigarette lighter? Indian is no good in you because you have a Victory. They'll say that too. Why should you have Victory, not other people can have Victory? I've owned at least 5 Foreman grills. I know. See, right? That's how you do it. They say, oh, it'll work a couple years and then you got to buy another one. He's brilliant. Him and all of his kids. George, his kid George, that other kid George, and George, Georgette, Georgina, and George, all of his kids. They're great. Gingers are the best minority. You just don't see us because, like, today it's sunny. We can't go outside. So we're always inside. But we're mad. Believe us. Why aren't there any more food trucks that sell small biz trucks that go to truck stops? Well, they usually don't let the food truck go to a truck stop, but the rest areas, the licenses are over. They said because it's not so bad anymore, you can get around to truck stops and stuff. They've let the licenses expire, at least here in Indiana, and I think all the states, right? And so they had to pull the food trucks out of the rest areas. Too bad. You won't work for a company that has a driver-facing camera, Eddie. That's the thing of it. They're coming to a truck near you. And I love that Ozark is having them put into owner-operator trucks. I just love that. Why do the owner-operators tolerate that? So you're going to drive your own truck that you pay for, and then they're going to call you and send you a video about how you were driving unsafely in your own truck and that you have to agree to it or they're going to fire you. Love it. Freightliner should ditch the floor cup holder. Everyone removes it. 2 screws to save their toes. I don't have that in my truck. So there's a cup holder, right? It's got 4 cup holders, which I don't understand. In front of you, underneath the dash, right? The dash, and there's 2 cup holders. And then here to your left, there's cup holders, but it's raised up. It's like the height of the seat of your seat, where your seat is of your seat, right? Where your seat is, it's that height. They're not on the floor. So, and I don't have, that's all I have, 4 cup holders. Brilliant. Can he be the first member? Right. There's your first member right there. Freightliner knows how bad their braking system is. You'd think they'd be proactive in making it work correctly. No, they don't care because they think, of course, that it's saving lives. Look, this saves lives. You never know when one of these rogue road signs can just come out and, at least the truck will stop for it. Crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. Ginger or Marianne. Oh, nice. More older quotes. Love it. Paul Harris. JP Transco adds 2 cents. Yeah, GP Transco has cameras that are voluntary, so I'm still okay with it because you don't have to have it turned on. And if you do have the camera turned on, they add 2 cents to your pay per mile. It's the only company that I know of, there may be others, that pays you to use the camera. And they're saying they have a pretty high take rate on the cameras, which I figure they would. For 2 cents, that's a couple grand. I have always said I wouldn't turn it on, so I wouldn't. So I wouldn't take the 2 cents, but apparently most people do there. But it's still voluntary. So voluntary, I don't mind things that are voluntary. You tell them, no, I'm not doing it. So that's easy. I'm so ginger when I met my husband, he thought I got out of prison. Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm talking about. You see me outside, which you will this weekend. I'll announce that later. I'm thinking Saturday that I'll be, but you'll see it later, Saturday for everybody in Gary at the Petro. I should be up there in the morning Saturday because the OIDA, Spirit of the American Trucker tour truck is going to be there. And so I'm going to go up and meet the truck. They're not inviting me. I'm just showing up, kind of breaking in the party. So we'll talk about that later this week, but that should be Saturday morning in case anybody's in the Gary, Indiana area. And I'll be in a long sleeve shirt. Safety Blitz this week. It is a Operation Safe Driver this week, and what they're talking about this week is safe driving, distracted driving, speeding, following too close, all of those things. That's what they're looking for. Seatbelts, you don't have a seatbelt on, or you got that shirt with the black stripe across it, right? That's going to get you in trouble. Christina, I heard they might shut the country down again. Your thoughts? Yeah, some states are moving backwards in their little 1 to 5 plan. They're moving back, and and there's quarantines now. If you go to some states from other states, you have to quarantine. So yeah, I think it's a problem. See, the thing is, and they said, the Rona, it's mutating. It might be something different now. People got too comfortable. They started going outside, and the government is like, we can't have people going back outside. We got to shove them back in their houses so they'll listen. And so I think it's a possibility of at least another small shutdown. Edgar, I never worked for a company with a camera on the truck. Yeah, just saying that they're coming to everywhere. Lytx has had a huge increase in the number of cameras that they're selling, which Lytx loves. I assume they have a monthly fee on it. Old Crony's Garage, I have an 82 Chevy K20 dually. Yikes. My dad built a whole cedar. I need a good gooseneck stake bed trailer and then something to load the post. Yikes. You're going to pull stuff. I mean, the truck's 30 years old. That's all I'm saying. It's almost 30 years old. You just want something reliable. Maybe it's all rebuilt or whatever. That's all I'm saying. You work for Ozark and management are complete idiots. Well, they're doing this Lytx thing, including to owner-operators, so I tend to agree with you on that. Forever on the road, just drive a golf cart? That would be better. You need one with doors on it. Camera GP does not record when the truck is off or not in motion, Kelly. Yes, that's correct. The only time it's and I personally would cover it anyway, just in case. Say you did turn it on there at any company. I think personally I'd cover the thing if I was not driving, because if it's to save my safe driving, then they don't need to see what I'm doing if I'm not driving. So, and that would be interesting to cover it if you're stopped and then have them call you, wouldn't it? The only time it's inappropriate to wear flip-flops is when you're at a customer pickup. I think you should wear, personally, I think you should wear shoes while you're at work. That's what I think. So once someone is killed or seriously hurt with his braking system, then what? They'll say, well, that one failed and the rest of them are okay. That's the problem. They've been on the trucks for years. You see they're recalling them back to 17. I think they're horrible. That's my 2 cents on the camera thing. That is it. That's correct. Very good. Can't figure out why trucks brakes for sign, but not an elk standing in the middle of the road. Yeah, because that's the problem. Tesla does the same thing. It runs into things that are stopped. These things are certainly not anywhere close to being perfect. To rely on them is crazy. So it might stop for this. It'll stop for an overhead sign that you're going to go under. But then like this, like an elk, it's like, oh, that's probably fine. I can get right through that. Brian, afternoon, Mark and guests. Everyone pre- and post-trips, and please watch your speed. Yes, especially this week, speeding, but every week. The reason people speed is why they don't get paid properly. That's what I think. Because consider if you got paid by the hour, would you speed? I just solved the speeding problem. My company just closed down their shops. Now we have to use third-party vendors for all maintenance. That sounds pretty annoying, to be honest with you. If it's depends how often they do service too, I guess, or how often your truck needs to go in. The truck is trying to get an elk steak dinner. Yikes. You could put it on the George Foreman grill. Christina, I heard the next stimulus money is for people that make 40 and under, like $2,400 per person, I thought I saw. What I've read, and there's different ways to do this, they're talking about between 40 and 75 somewhere is where the month it will be. That's what I was reading. And they're talking $1,200 a person is what they were saying. So, but there's another, which is probably not going to go. I forget who did it. $2,000 a month per adult for the whole time that you're under emergency, and then for the next 3 months. Whether that would happen or not, I kind of doubt it, but that is a proposal as well. Eric, the line of the day, imagine the virus so deadly you have to take a test to find out if you have it. And they have to shove this thing, even though all these, apparently you need a mask, they've got to shove this thing up basically to your brain to give you a test. By the way, my wife is negative because she didn't take a test to get her surgery. So now we know she's negative. That's pretty great. And they shove this, basically a Q-tip that's 4 feet long into your head. You predict Ozark will soon offer a BS sign-on bonus. Oh, like $30,000 for, like some companies are offering? The privacy curtain covers the camera when you close them. Right, that's true, right. So if you close the camera, the curtains, it should stop the camera. But I think if you're stopped, just to aggravate them or whatever, I'd probably flip the visor down or put something over it if I was not driving, because if it's just about driving, then they shouldn't care. They would just aggravate him to no end. Outs for steel-toe boots on him in the truck. Okay, yeah. If they require it here, and they pay for them, so we get them. Glad get a life-size cutout for the driver's seat while on brakes. Oh, right. Pointing at him or something. Glad I never had one in my truck. Would you put one in a truck that you owned? That's the thing of it. I don't think so. Shoes, socks, and clean underwear, please, folks. What our Jewish grandmothers think. My mom always said that too, and she was not even that Jewish. She always, I don't know why women, I guess women back then, or everybody thought that. What, you have to wear clean under? Why? In case you go to the hospital. That was always the thought. Was everybody just clumsy back in the 50s or 60s when our parents grew up, or my parents grew up? I mean, people were just clumsy, I guess. Well, you never know when you're going to go to the hospital. Is that the first thing they check too? That's what I always imagined at the hospital. You get there and they go, how's their underwear? Is it clean? Is it new? Maybe we shouldn't work on them. I just never, but that's always what they said. Always said that. Maybe parents don't say that anymore. Hard to quit that kind of money involved. Delivered that one this morning. Got 200-mile run for 98 cents. It is. Heavy metal trucker. And I think that part of it is how they treat you with the camera. That's what I've always said for people. When a camera comes in like that, how do they treat you? They basically leave you alone about it. Or, if they start micromanaging you about it, believe me, that money will be a lot easier to leave. But if they do leave you alone about it, it's probably not going to be a problem. And that's really great money. I would aggravate them about the camera. I'd write to them and say, what's the deal? Why are they doing this to me? I've been here all this time, whatever, safe, and now they want to do that. Dope law, what about the second stimulus? Yeah, there's so many proposals. As you see, people have read different things than me. I've read that it's going to be between somewhere in 40 and 75,000 income will be right in there, and it'll be $1,200 a person. That's what I've read. And it has to be done by August 3rd or 6th. They're on break right now because we can't have Congress work too long, and they come back soon, end of the week, maybe the beginning of next week. They have a couple of weeks to work, and then they go on another break because it's exhausting working 2 weeks in a row or whatever. So they have to have bills out by then. And I'll say this, Trump said he's open to check direct payments to people. He said he wants people to get more money, direct payments. So I think he'd sign it. So you could see another $1,200 like the last one, which I hope everybody got. That went to basically everybody, or most people on here probably, $1,200 a person. So wherever the last one went, this one will go. Ozark does not even service the Ozarks. Well, they should have to change their name. I'm offended by it. Right? If the name is not the correct name, there's no reason that they shouldn't be allowed, to have that name, right? Oh, look, a cat. It's cat break time. Tortoiseshell cat. So cute. I just love that line that goes right down its face. I'm making a line like here on my face, and you can't see it because the cat's up there. So that was pretty good. I just love it. Tortoiseshell. Trucker Hershey missed the Cascadia recall. 17 to 21 Cascadias are recalled if they have the automatic braking on them. That brake valve that controls the automatic braking for the truck is subject to corrosion. It wasn't sealed correctly. And what could happen is the brakes could only apply on one side of the truck. Isn't that great? And so they've recalled 17 to 21s Cascadias, and they're going to have you come in and replace that brake controlling valve thing in it. Mm-hmm. If the government's going to give me money every month, then why do we need a job? Columbia George. Well, that's what people said. And I will tell you this, like the two of us, we'd get $48,000 a year under that plan. You're going to have a tough time getting somebody to go back and work at a grocery store or something who was making maybe $25,000 or $30,000 if they can make $25,000 and not work, because these checks are not related to unemployment. So I think that is a real problem. You may start the day with the clean underwear, but depending on the accident, it may not when you arrive. Yes, depending what you had at the Loves. What's the average wage for hourly truck driving? It depends on what area. It should be 20s if you're getting hourly. Certainly in the 20s, plus overtime. James Faustus here. Good afternoon. My dad just hauled cedar with it in 2017. It's 3 years ago. It's got a Cadillac 425. Really? With a 4-speed. Really? You got a 4-speed in that? It's what I got for now. Maybe in the future I can buy my dad's Dodge and retire the Chevy. All right. I mean, that is really... That's that engine's going to suck up so much gas. I mean, it's not known for fuel mileage. So, okay, that'd be really something. I get $780. Christina gets $783 a month of disability. I would love to have that $2,000 extra. Yeah, $27.83 a month. You wouldn't have to go to work, or if you're not working already, that'd be way extra money for you, wouldn't it? All right, $783 is not really enough to live on, especially if you are if you can't work. Alex Randy, yeah, I know. I love that cat. Good afternoon, GP Transco. It's good to see you here today. I like better cinnamon or vanilla. Cinnamon, of course. My cat doesn't let me sleep, Edgar. It makes so much noise, so I shut my bedroom door at night. Oh, that's terrible. You got to let the cat on the bed. I mean, the cat sleeps with her. The cat sleeps with me here at night. So I have stairs going on the bed, so the cat doesn't have to jump on the bed or jump off the bed. I know. So I have a set of stairs that go up to the bed to make it easier for the cat to get in and out of the bed. Even if she was loud or whatever, she'd still get to come on the bed. Wonder if they get day pay, take it there. Wonder if get day pay when take it there. That cat break was cute. Christina, I love that cat, how that line goes right down its head. I was chatting with a Canadian driver. He said they got like 40,000 in stimulus. Jeanette, really? 40,000 Canadian, though. That's like $822. Actually, I don't know the conversion. No, but I mean, really? How'd they get 40 grand it's per person? You'd never get people to come back to work. Now, I think that. So people just flat out quit their jobs. A restaurant or whatever open, they're not going to go. Who's going to go back to work at a job that pays, say, $11 an hour? That'd be $22,500 a year. Nobody's going to go back to that job. So there's the thought of that giving direct money without the unemployment part of it is, if it's too much money, people are not going to go to work. So there. Although jobs would have to pay more. There's that too. It's $200 for a load of cedar. Depends how far you got to take it with that Cadillac engine. Holy moly. And the Cadillac engine, is it set up for unleaded even? Took my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. So is your gas tank with that 425 Cadillac engine. Where do you get parts for that too? I haven't, 77 or 78 was the last year for that engine, wasn't it? Because in 81, they went to the V8 6.4 and they had that 4.5. Yikes. I'm looking at getting a 6.2 liter V8 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. Alexander, oh, nice. Wow. I would still see, the thing is, on the little bit smaller engine, you can get a stick in the Challenger still. You can get the Hemi with a stick. I'd probably do that just because of the driving experience. Now, I love this car. I hope that when you get it, you'll bring it here and we can do a bunch of burnouts in it, especially since it's your car. But I would still get the smaller engine and a stick. That's just me. I'd want a stick in that car. You hardly can get them. Fuel mileage non-existent. Yeah, who cares? Just go buy gas. No problem. Put Gracie up to the microphone. Yeah. I don't even know where she is. She's probably in the back. There was a huge blue jay out there she was trying to get at. Samuel, a few weeks ago we were heroes. Now they want to let us use the toilet. Exactly. You didn't think that would last long, did you? And it didn't. People forget how quickly now that there's toilet paper back in the store, right? The stores are all full of everything. Oh, people are like, oh, those stinky drivers again, right? What happened to all the signs, all kids holding signs and everybody feeding in? All that didn't last long at all, did it? When the truck ran right, your dad was getting 16. That's incredible. And then it sucked a bunch of crap in the carburetor. Yikes. The carburetor. We need to move to Canada. Yeah, no doubt. Free medical, too. I think the Canadian was pulling your leg, eh? Yeah, 40,000. I mean, that's a lot of Tim Hortons. And you wonder why Gracie's fat. Michael Muller. Hey, she's not eating the birds. They're on the outside of the door. I have a bird feeder hanging right there for her to look at. She doesn't get to the birds. She only can look at the birds. And she's big boned. Don't give her a complex. Stanley, what's up, Mark? From Lexington, Nebraska. Wow, what's happening out there? Okay, guess what the car the CEO of GP Transco drives? That's a good one. We got to think about that for a minute. My brother in Germany got 7,000 euro per month stimulus. For how long? And was there any catch to it? Or was it like this money where it's just straight money? We're going to all need to get second jobs at Forts and Burgers for the grill. No doubt. If they're going up in price like that, yeah. I'm going to start looking at prices. What's going on? Big bore engines like that are fun. Geeky hunts to them. I agree. Look, I like it, but holy mackerel. I think you could get a lot better fuel mileage with the V6 and still pull the same weight today, It's hard to find parts for, but it's a terrible. The 425 was run from 77 to 79. Okay, so a few years, right. Okay, and you still get parts for it? Yeah, so that's the end of it. Because then what? 4.5, V8 6.4, 4.1. Nothing compares to Chevrolet Sonic. Dave Johnson, I agree. And this is the last year for the Sonic. Very sad day for me. Started making it in 2012. This will be its last year. They hardly sell any of them. So that is Trucking Answers unit number 1. So absolutely. It says Trucking Answers and it says YouTube all over it as well. So if you ever see it out, that's me. I'm probably the only one still driving one. A low mileage Sonic. Rented a 2019 Charger this weekend. Had a V8. Had so much fun. Jeanette, yeah, the rentals are probably automatics, but I agree. Just the Hemi in it with the stick, the V6, or with the 6-speed stick, I think is the way to go in it. Not quite as much power, way more fun driving. The thing about standard transmission, not very many people know how to drive them. That's true. Nobody can drive them anymore. When I had my Focus with a stick in it, people get in it and go, oh, what's this? I'm like, this is how you drive a car. That truck runs on what's cheap. That's one way to do it. A Yugo? Oh, that would be something, wouldn't it? I don't think he drives a Yugo. Haven't seen one of those here for a while. He drives a Toyota. Disappointing. A CEO needs something better than that. I'm going to stick with Lincoln. I think the CEO of a major company needs to drive a Lincoln. Are there many catches to the companies that offer guaranteed pay? Is there a minimum number of miles? Yeah, sometimes. Each company is different. So some of them it's just, you just have to be available for 5 days, and then some of them have a list of 20 requirements that you have to meet before you get it. So you want the least amount of requirements, of course. Just that you're available and it's up to them to get you it. So yeah, every company is different about that. Some it's simple, some no. Oh, a Bentley, that'd be nice. Have a roll sitting out there? Oh. An 87 LeBron, so it shoots baskets, or an 87 LeBaron. I still want a 2006 Gran Turismo. Wow, by Pontiac, that would be something. Right answer is a Ford Raptor. Wow. Oh, I never thought about a Raptor. I was thinking more luxury, befitting his position at the company, but that's pretty nice too. It's 90 and sunny in Lexington. I see GP Transco got the YouTuber This Guy Trucks. Oh, okay. I don't know if they got him over there or how it worked, but yeah, I guess he works at GP Transco. Basically, you have a lot of people working at GP Transco. There's some people on here that work for GP Transco. You get points for each video that's an issue. Oh. When that score gets to points, you have to have some type of training, like safety meeting or video course. ATS says they don't terminate, they train. Yeah, that's what all companies say at the beginning. I'll tell you what, they'll terminate you for it eventually. They will terminate you for it. But that's always how it starts. And who's doing the meeting? See, this would aggravate me to no end. If somebody's going to come, number one, it aggravates me. They're going to get a 12-second clip and gripe at me about my driving. But then I got to go in and talk to somebody that doesn't have a license. No way would I listen to them. No way. I'd tell them straight up, I'm not listening to you. You don't have a license. You have no reason to speak to me about my driving. Okay, you're legally prohibited from doing my job. Tell them that. If I saw you driving a truck, I could have you stopped and pulled out of the truck. So that's just the thing. The camera just wouldn't, if they aggravated me about it, that's where it would go. There's always a catch. Some are worse than others. There's always a catch to everything. Yeah. Some are easy, some are not, though. It would be great if the CEO drove a DeLorean, if he could find one. Yes, a non-painted one that is still running. He drove a DeLorean with the original Volvo, Peugeot, Renault engine in it. Way back when people owned only owned one or two pair of underwear, and washing machines were a luxury, Mama had to go down to the Wabash and beat them with a stick. Roger Penske. That was a long time ago. Okay, I've always grown up with a washing machine, and probably my parents did too. So I don't know how long it's been. Probably quite a while, but yeah, maybe. But then, were there hospitals to go to then? Alexander rented a V8 Charger with the dual overhead cam, 450 horsepower. That would be great. Straight money, no strings to keep the economy moving. That's great. So they got this money, no strings, economy rolls. I mean, let's be honest, the $2,000 a month per person would fire up the economy like nobody's business. Everybody would be buying everything if they got an extra $48,000 coming in with that tax free, like the $1,200 that we got, no tax on that. So that would be incredible. I think though, getting people to go back to work then, if they're getting this money, not going to happen. People just won't go. The less they make, the less likely they are to go to work, even though it would just be on top of that money. It's not always a catch. Well, there's always something. There's a $1,000 minimum, regardless of how many miles. It's based on a week average, 2-week average, right? So you're available. This is like the minimum part. You're just available, and then you qualify for the minimum. And then some you have to do 40 different things. You got to do this training. You got to do this, do these other 40 things. So the minimum is just you're available, and then they pay you if they don't have enough freight to keep you rolling. What I find funny about my Chevy, it doesn't have clearance lights. My dad never installed them. Does it need them? Probably that year. Probably wasn't the law yet. Does that mean Alexander gets 90% of a prize? Oh, that's pretty good. The Raptor's still an F-150. All right. What did the judges say about that? A Cadillac SRX. That would be interesting. Oh, is the truck teal? Tell me it's painted in company colors. That would be great. Since a Saturday load can carry over pay-wise in the next week, so if the driver earns less than the 2-week average, he qualifies. Okay, I see what you're saying. Right. Look, any guarantee, way better than no guarantee, where you sit out here, because I get these letters all the time. It's horrible. $300 check. Crazy. Edgar has a Ford Fiesta 5-speed. I don't think Ford does Fiestas. No Fiestas, no Focus, right? Fusion's on the way out. Taurus done. All SUVs. A Model T, that would be pretty awesome. DeLorean is something Dominic could consider. Yeah, send him a picture. He's a car guy. Really? Tell him to bring those cars in. He's currently working on a Nissan. Which one? A Datsun. I had a 310GX. So what do you think, electric trucks? Is that the future truck? I don't know. They're going to have to charge faster for over the road and there's no infrastructure yet for the road for electric trucks to do anything. They can't charge, from what I understand, at a Tesla supercharger where cars are. They have to have faster charging because their batteries are gigantic and it's a different plug. But Tesla built out a whole system for their cars. And I just say Tesla because they're the main ones doing electric. So right now there's nothing in it other than some kind of dedicated run where there's chargers for the truck. Eventually, maybe it's way cheaper to run the truck. You don't have any oil changes. The electricity is cheaper than diesel fuel. So maybe in the future, I could see it locally easily where you drive around town and come back to the place because then the company installs their own charger. You come back, plug it in overnight. Tomorrow morning, the truck's ready to go again. So I totally could see that happening. Yes. The road, I think it's a long way away. Look, whenever there's an addition, Fleet Nav Systems could probably tell you about this. Whenever there's any kind of update to the ELD or anything, drivers have a freak out and there has to be 10 hours of training done. So getting a driver to switch over to a full electric truck and all the different things about a truck, I could just see that being a nightmare at a company, especially if you had a lot of drivers. Datsun was the corporate name before they changed it to Nissan. Yes, right. I had a Datsun 310GX before they changed the name. Most likely battery technology isn't there yet, but when a recharge takes under 30 minutes and 700 miles, looks like it's the future. Yeah, for the road, that's what it's going to need to be on the road, right? Or 1,500 mile range. So you charge up only once a day on the road. That's a possibility too. Steel Horse, hello there. Hot Dog Day. Who wants some 20-something that has never done our job counseling us? That's the problem, right? Person who looks over those videos should have 2 million safe miles. Jeanette, they should. It should be a experienced driver that's been at the company a long time also, but it isn't. It's somebody, usually, it's somebody in the office that doesn't drive, that looks at 15, 12 seconds of your life and determines you did something wrong, and they're going to tell you how to fix it. They can't do your job legally. They can't even do it. And then they're going to tell you how to do it. That's the huge problem. That's why I don't like cameras. Companies just will not allow the proper person to do this. Air Gunner Bob is here. Thank you very much. And in late and can't stay long. Enjoying home time. All right. Be starting with a new company at the end of the week. All right. Moving up in life. Stay safe. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here today. Do you guys remember when the CEO of DeLorean got busted with 400 pounds of cocaine? Well, was it 400 pounds? I mean, is that a lot? I don't know. I don't think that's that much. Back in the day when the company, I don't remember his name either, was tiny, he delivered some loads and recovered some tractors. All right. Old Crony's Garage is going to head out. It's good to see you here today. 10 hours training. You look. Fleet Nav Systems, I'm telling you, when there's any kind of change in they change paperwork. All they do is to move the form around. They go, oh, this is in a different spot. And then 40 phone calls. What do I do? How do I do this? So I can just see that taking a driver into an electric, we have drivers without a cell phone, okay? Taking that person into an electric truck, I think is going to be a problem. There's going to be like a split of people that are not going to be able to do it. Oh, he's got a 280Z. The 76 280, that'd be pretty awesome. I'd love to see the restoration of that. That'd be a good videos. Comprehensive training takes 40 minutes. I'm just telling you, at your place, I'm telling you that once people are set in a way of doing something a certain way, and then you change it, even the smallest thing, it creates a phone nightmare problem. I will tell you that. I could just tell you that from experience. Eddie McFadden, good show. Appreciate that. Thanks for saying that. Trucker Wild, hey Mark, I have 27 years of verified clean CDL driving and applied to GP Transco. The recruiter emailed said you didn't have an experience. GP Transco, sure, you can ask them about it. They are here to talk to you today. Remember, I don't work for GP Transco. For new people on here, they're on here in the chat because they want to answer drivers' questions and stuff of their own volition, which I appreciate immensely. But I do not work for GP Transco. How did Datsun get their name? I don't know. They asked the marketing guy. He asked how soon. Marketing guy said Datsun. We're going to get in trouble for that joke, I'm sure. Steel Horse, I wonder what a level of inspection would be like. Get the electric truck for him. Yeah. I don't know. I'm positive I'd pass it, though. Oh, yeah. We get the calls. We get a lot of questions once the new hours of service were announced. Oh, I cannot imagine how it's going to be in the fall here. What they're going to put out. Probably there'll be videos we'll have to watch, trainings. We're going to have to sign forms. It's going to be a disaster. Classes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. How can you message your contact information to Facebook? Yeah, they're going to check into that. Got to get heading out of here, Fleet Nav Systems. Have a good day and stay safe. Everybody go head over there tomorrow and talk to them over at Fleet Nav Systems at 3 p.m. And they do have an interesting live show for drivers. A lot of good information over there. I hope that you will go and see them. And don't forget about Jay, too. He's live on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Okay, and he goes live a lot of times, too. So I just put this Tuesday up here, but heck, he's live through the week, too. Jay is crazy out there giving auto transport information out, okay? And Fleet Nav Systems. And there I am back again. Before I forget to do it. I don't have Facebook, but... okay. Don't have Facebook. Normally there's a reason, but some things fall through the cracks. Yes, the only... concern is electric trucks need to produce some eco-friendly black steam. I'm sure that some driver will install stacks. Believe me, there's going to be some owner operators going to get one, install big stacks and some kind of switch they could turn on and blow coal out of them. Stanley, the show's got to be GP Transco's biggest recruiter. I don't know. I know you say you don't get paid anything, but I hope they give you a real nice Christmas present. I don't ask for or get paid anything from GP Transco or any company. Because I just think it keeps the show cleaner. I can't then say stuff about, people would say, well, Mark's saying that because they pay him, or Mark's not saying that because they pay him, or wants to get paid from them. So I decided early to just not take money from trucking companies. I get emails from, hey, run an ad for us, not GP Transco, but just random mega carriers, really. Cool, will you run an ad and stuff? No, I don't do any of that stuff. So that's how it works here. I'm going after my hazmat and passport. We've got international loads to Canada, Alexander. Well, the passport's probably easier to get than a hazmat. I don't have a passport, so Trucker Wild, you're quite welcome, and I hope they can solve that for you. Yeah, the only thing they do, as they're saying here, GP Transco's live show giveaways for the fans. That's correct. I got outdo you on the Lincoln Maserati. I got to outdo you on the Lincoln Maserati. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Maserati too, but I thought Lincoln's actually probably more practical car to drive every day. I love Maserati Quattroportes. It's a great car for CEO. The thing is, nobody at work ever knows you have one because it's forever being fixed in the shops. You're always getting a rental Ghibli they give you, which breaks down So the Lincoln, I think, is your best bet for a car that will probably run every day. So I was watching the Bionic Woman last night. Wow. And her car was a blue 260 or 280. Oh, does Bionic Woman have a Nissan? That's pretty good. I don't remember that show. She had a dog too. Just passing me's mark. What? Trucker Wild, that's emailed filled out. Okay, your driver's the 40-foot experience for GP Transco. We just got a load info. Oh, Kelly Pedersen to head out. We have a good day. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Have fun delivering that. And let's see. I want to talk about this too. Where did this go? Okay, so what they said about, and I lost my thing here. I can't even read my own notes. So what they're doing is the emergency declaration. Okay, they are allowing you to continue to drive if there's a civil disturbance under the 395.1 emergency declaration. So the FMCSA put clarification out this week. I don't know, everybody remind everybody of that. So if your road is closed because of a protest or anything like that, a civil disturbance, and you either feel your life is in danger or the road is just closed because of a civil disturbance, you can continue to drive beyond your hours under 395.1 under the emergency declaration. So the FMCSA put that out this week to clarify that, yes, that counts for an emergency. Misty is soaking her feet getting a pedicure. Wow, life is good. That's pretty awesome. I will tell you, I might be doing that too. So just keep that in mind. Texas Trader, happy Bronco reveal day. That's right. Tonight, the new Bronco's revealed. For those of you looking for a Ford Bronco, it is back. Jeanette, my son says he's building a Rascal scooter with Jake and Stacks for my retirement. That'd be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool. Maserati Fiat, fix it again, Tony. Exactly. They're so nice looking. The Maserati, the sound of it. I've driven a Quattroporte. It's a Ferrari V8 in it. At 7,000 RPM, it's incredible. But every other day, it's going to go get fixed. So not worth getting it. There's one for sale over here in town. I'd be having a hard time finding jobs because I only have 40-foot trailer experience. I don't know. Is that, Edgar, is that a problem for places? Put down... How do you put that down? I'm not telling you to lie in application, but I would say tractor trailer experience, 1,000,000 miles or something like that, you know. Mark Hart, late and trying to find a job. All right, well, welcome. If you have a year of experience, GP Transco is right here to talk to you. Is the winner of the PS4 here? We're able to order it today. Finally, it was on back order. All right, I don't know. Let's see about that. So any news about the Judiciary Committee looking into brokers? No, not that I know. I don't know if it went anywhere. And I'm up in the air about that. What are brokers, what are brokers doing wrong? Let's ask that specific question. What do you think they're doing wrong that the Judiciary Committee should look into? Because from what I understand, when you take a load, they have you sign this release form that says, I agree, I'll take this load as long as I don't get to look at the numbers or whatever. People could agree not to sign that form. Okay, it can be an issue. They require 53-foot experience. All right. Okay, Dan Lawson. Hello, everyone. I'll have to go measure the trailers. They're all 53s here, though. But yeah, okay, so no containers. I mean, it's only 13 feet. Could they get hired on and make 13% less money? Probably that's going to be a no. So that's a crazy idea. Operation Safe Drivers out this week, July 12th to the 18th. Let's see. Rates. Van rates, $1.81. Flats are $2.07. Nice up. And refrigerated, $2.15. That's the average rate this week, according to DAT. Not bad. Everything went up this week for drivers. So I love it. So that accident, I got that right. Trip delays. Oh, I got a check from somebody. Look, I want to encourage everybody on these lease purchases. Be very careful, okay? An astute viewer wrote in and said, look, here's my settlement from John Krishner. I'm not making any money, and what can I do about it? Well, they had, over 2,400 miles, just over 2,400 miles, and got a $700 check net to them, okay, after truck payment and everything. The truck's $800 and some a week. They're only making $1 a mile. Okay, $1 a mile plus fuel, which was 13 cents. That net, that is no kind of net money to own a truck. I got to tell you. I know everybody wants to own a truck. A lot of people want to own a truck. This is not the way to do it, okay? There's tons of local jobs. Look, I don't work much, and I make more than that. I had 24, I'll be honest, I had 24.11 hours available, okay, on Friday. I netted more than that kind of money at the end of the week, okay? And I'm home every day. There's plenty of jobs where you can net more than $700 a week and not have to be gone all week. And so the person wanted me to put out there that it's a scam and that, but I don't know that it's a scam because really on their website they show really low pay. They puff it up and say, oh, you're going to make all this money, but they're saying, here's what we pay a mile. Here's what the fuel surcharge, here's how to calculate it. I mean, they're pretty clear about it. At $1.13 with fuel or with the surcharge, you will not make more money than company driver. You will make less money and be stuck in this truck. You'll never be able to get out of it. Making $700 a week, that's $35,000 net to you. To be gone all week is no kind of money to own the truck. It is no money. You'd be better off being a company driver and say you made $200, just $200 a week more. Save that $200 a week for a year or two and put that down on a truck that you buy yourself somewhere. You could even lease it yourself from outside of a carrier. Boom, now you're in business. Now you can go to a carrier that pays 75, 80, 85% to you, has great rates, and you can make real money if you'll just wait a little bit. But don't jump into $1.05 a mile plus fuel and think like you're going to make any money. The insurance was over $100 a week. That's crazy, too. I don't know if that's a lot, but it just seemed high to me. I'm like paying Geico. I'm thinking, holy mackerel, that's a lot of money. So that's the story on JCT. Yikes. The longer the trailer is, the easier to back it is. Yeah, so you should hire people with 20-footers, right? The dinky ones. Remember those? How many people hold a 90,000-pound 20-footer out of the rail yards, right? Having clarity on what the load is actually paying. I agree everyone should make money, but keeping 50 to 60% is wrong. I don't know about that. Not if you agree to it. See, that's the thing of it. Not if you agree to it. They haven't done anything wrong. They go, okay, here's the load's $12. You agree. It doesn't matter what they get on it. Say they're getting $12 a mile. They put it out there and you agree with them that you'll take it for $1.50, let's say. That they get the difference. You could go have a deal with that place yourself. Get your own authority and go find your own freight. Okay. People write to me all the time that do that. So I know that's possible. But what they get on it, it doesn't matter what matters is what you make. That's all that matters. That's what I think. Do they keep 50%? What if it was the other way? Should you not be able to keep 60% of it? What if the driver gets 60%? Can we say that's too much? Who decides what too much is? If they got 12 and you got 6, did they keep too much or did you make a bonanza on the freight also? They're keeping 50% of the freight. Nobody would gripe about $6 a mile, though. We wouldn't have this conversation about brokers. People are concerned because they're not getting that much money on the freight. The Bionic Dog was in that episode. He's a German Shepherd named Max. Oh, I didn't remember his name, Roger Penske. Right? I knew there was a dog on it, though. He has some kind of, I don't remember what he has. She has hearing and stuff. The biggest problem of his home time because of where I live. Most companies want me to be out 3 to 6 weeks. Yeah, depending where you live in the country, can be a tough way to get home. You may want to, actually, depending, you might want to move. It's a consideration. Philip Owens, sorry I'm late, 120 degrees in Lake Havasu last night. Ugh. They better let you run your truck or do something. JJ works for Prime at a breakdown and netted $72. JJ Trucker. No, see, look, but that's the beauty of being in business for yourself, right? That's the part of owning a truck that I don't want. Like we have a minimum pay here as well. So that day I'd get paid a minimum pay. I wouldn't have to worry about making money at the end of the week. Now I don't get the upside of it. If rates go up, I guess Prime, I think, is percentage. So he'd get more money. I don't get that side of it. I still get money. I don't get the upside, but I also don't have a downside. And it's a problem. It's a real problem. $72, that's no kind of money. Hopefully was at least home that week. The rates are not low because the brokers are low because of poorly managed mega carriers that get subsidized money. Ryan, perfect. Carriers get money from the government. They can take a low rate. They have people working for 27 cents a mile. They get to take a low rate. And so then your host, as an owner-operator, you can't get as much money depending on how your load works. Exactly. I want giant subwoofers on my electric truck that make Jake brake sounds when I go downhill or pull the truck stop so I can wake everybody up. Oh, right. Like the flip-flop fleet. That's perfect. Yeah. Why are we using our Jake brakes in a truck stop? What's going on in there? Is there some kind of gigantic speed bump you have to go down? I never understood that. Electric truck with a Super 10, Marty Moore. Oh, wow. Do we have this super fast truck? There's a video of a Tesla accelerating. Impressive. Semi. And then we put a Super 10 in it. Oh, and ruin the whole thing. Let's make it as slow as possible. Pup dumps and city flyers cut quick, hard to stay under it. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Right. If you don't agree how a company pays you, find a different company. Oh, totally true. Right. If it doesn't make sense to agree to get paid poorly and be surprised for being paid poorly. I totally agree. Everybody's pay is within their own command, literally. To go and make $1 like this lease person is no good. Western at 27 cents, no good. There's years ago, it would have been much more difficult. You'd have had a call. That's not the case anymore. You can go online and quickly research companies, pretty fast, especially if you're making $300 or $400 a week. You don't have to stay where you are. And companies that don't keep drivers just have this huge turnover, and they turn out to be bad places. Steel Horse, this country is founded on capitalism. If someone can find a way to make more money, then they should have the freedom to do so. I totally agree. The drivers would do the same thing. That's the thing. Owner-operators would be in on that too, and should be. If they can get more money amount, I agree. To say somebody shouldn't make a certain amount of money, that's scarcity thinking. I don't like it. Everybody should make more money. The pie gets bigger as everybody makes money. There isn't like a limited pie. That's what people always think. The pie only has 8 pieces, and so I have to get my one piece. No. If you all get in there, there's still more pie for everybody. So keep that in mind. And now I want a piece of pie. Still looking for the best starter tanker company. Oh, right. We didn't get into that. There are not too many starter tanker companies. I know Schneider will do it, but I don't like their household goods thing. But it would be a way to start in tankers. Mel Dispatcher, the critic, told me he worked for JCT, and he said it was a scam and he couldn't make any money. Well, that's two things. That's two different things. That he can't make any money, that's at $1.13. You're not going to make any more money. It's certainly not more than a company driver. It's not a scam, though. They actually post their amount right there on their website. So it's no scam. They're saying, here's what we pay you. Okay, here's what we're going to pay you. If you go, you really weren't scammed into it, right? That's not a scam. That's here's what we pay, and you're like, I'll take it. Then that's what you get. Dave Johnson is not a fan of the Super 10. No one is. The 3 that they made all broke the first week. Why was the manhole closed this weekend? Oh, they had to do some COVID cleaning. It turns out there were some diseases in there, so that was a real downer. I'll tell you that. May Trucking is starting a tanker division. That's what I heard on the last show, and I haven't found anything out about it. How are you hearing that about May Trucking starting the tanker? I haven't been able to find anything on the internet about it, or anything really. Could you please tell the JB Hunt drivers on the East Coast to get out of the middle lane? Hey, JB Hunt drivers, get out of the middle lane. Are they not going fast enough out there? When is it that you get to go any speed on the East Coast? Holy mackerel. Most of the JB Hunts around here, they do Amazon. I know that because I see them pulling Amazon trailers into Lebanon all the time. So they're pulling Amazon trailers at least. JB Hunt Final Mile, it says on some of them. And they go 67, at least here, because they've passed me a number of times and I see 67 on the display. So that's certainly good. Thanks, George. I'm thinking of superior quality. All right. GP Transco, do you know anything about Bar None? We hear they are pretty good, wondering what policies we could borrow from them to keep improving things. Yeah, I did a video about them a while ago. Just they had a good starting pay of 60 cents, which was, pretty good. And I don't remember if they had a guarantee. I'd have to look more into them because the problem with all companies is that every month or two, whatever, they update, change policies and all that stuff. But yeah, a couple of people have written me from there and like it. So it's amazing because they're like part of Swift too. It's usually the cattle haulers and every owner-operator that has their truck and trailers covered in chicken lights that have their jakes on all the time, Stanley. It does seem like that, doesn't it? When you add 100 lights, any owner-operator will tell you that every light is another penny a mile that they have to pay you. So the more lights you get, the more you get per mile. And if you're on percentage, they have to give you another percent, even if it's over 100%. So maybe you have 150 lights, you get 150% extra. That's how chicken lights work. They make the truck go way faster because some people are in business just to buy lights for their truck rather than save up or maybe get out of their JCT truck where they got paid, a little over $700 for 2,400 miles. That's just crazy kind of money. Oh, Crony's Garage is back. Oh, all right. The company I work for gives a 30-day allowance per day on the road. $30 a day allowance per day on the road. Yeah, kind of like a per diem, $30 a day. A lot of companies do that per diem. We don't do it here, and I'm not a fan of it anyway. I wouldn't take it where I go, but a lot of people do it, and it gives them a bigger check, maybe for a year, but otherwise, no. Isn't Barnum team driving? No way. No, they are not team. They are not only team. That would be CRST. Cash is king trucking. To all the drivers complaining about how much the brokers make, what if the truck stops charging for fuel by how many miles per gallon you got? Oh, that would be really good, wouldn't it? That would be a really good way to do it, wouldn't it? You know, drivers never complain about that. How do we know how much they're paying for the fuel? What if they got the fuel on some kind of discount for 50 cents? Should they still be able to charge you $2.30 for it or whatever it is, $3? Yeah, what if they paid $2 and they charge you $3? That's 50%. More that they make. Should that be allowed? That's the problem with America. Yeah, it's allowed. They sell it, and you don't have to pay it. You can say, I'm going to go down the road to the next place that charges less money. That's the thing of it. Asking the government to mandate a value or price on something, never a good idea. Don't cap the top like that. How can you install CB radio in your 99 Dodge Ram 1500? Well, if you're going to install it permanently, just screw it into the dashboard. I've done that in older cars that I've had. Just screw it right in underneath there and run the wires right to the fuse box. So that's the best way to do it. Put the antenna. I mean, it's a 99 Dodge Ram, so there's plenty of room in there. Screw it on the other side of this thing here and run the wires. You got it, no problem. Otherwise, I guess it could just sit there. I don't like to have them on the dashboard right up here because they are in the sun. I don't like to put any radio up there because I think the heat gets to them. Preacher Paul's here late to the show. Did you hear about the government bailout for Yellow? Yes. They got their $700 million. Very nice of them. You know, you have to have over 500 employees to get the PPP loan, under 500 employees. So they didn't get that, but they were able to get this money. They don't add to your payroll. It's a separate check that's non-taxed. Okay, yeah. Most places put it on your check as, per diem and just add it back in. A separate check, same kind of thing, though. Exactly. Barnall also has single drivers. I hope you love the East Coast. So does Barnall head out to the East Coast? That would be something you wouldn't want to do. Roger Penske. Yeah, pie. Exactly. Once you talk about a pie like that. But that's the thing of it. What about fuel at the truck stop? Should you know how much they paid? What about roller wieners? Can we look at their invoices and see what does it cost for their roller wieners? No, of course not. That's not how it works. They offer work at a price, whatever it is, a payment. $1.50, $2, or $1,000 to do this work. If you take it, you agree to that amount. And so you should do the job to the best of your ability for the amount that you took. And if you don't like it, you can not use them again or do whatever. That's how it works. Eric Brandt on YouTube, great useful info and time to kill on the road. All right, I don't know who that is, so we'll go along with that. Who the heck is Yellow? Yeah, Yellow freight is everywhere. Research leeway motor lines. From the old days, they had extreme standards. I think that, companies that have higher standards, I think, do better as well. There's places like Western that'll just take anybody. I don't know if that's the best thing for the company either, right? The highest standard used to get you could then choose from the drivers that you want, even though there's a shortage or whatever. So if you hold your standards up higher and just stay there, don't lower your standards to get drivers. I think that's the better way to do it, certainly. My truck needs cosmetic work, but I'm not putting a dump for that until it's paid off. Okay, yeah. They never tell me to turn the truck off. We get mileage and safety bonus, not fuel fill-up. Good, because now, as long as they don't say anything, perfect, right? That's what they should do. Like, it's hot, run your truck. Since if they don't have an APU or whatever, run the truck and then run the truck. But be on the other side of that, we can be reasonable. So, because how many people see this? It's 55 degrees out. You pull up to the fuel line, and then the truck in front of you is running. There's no one in it. And it's just idling, wasting. They're in there 20, 25 minutes. That's a waste, especially in a company truck, because the company's got to pay for that. So turn the truck off if you don't need to keep it cool for you. And, when everybody works together like that, the company does better, you do better. I think everything works better. I agree. 70 and sunny in Spokane, Washington. All right. Yeah, it's been sunny here Saturday or whatever. Those huge storms went through. It was a huge half the town was without power. Our lines are buried here. I didn't lose power, but it was a problem. The best companies are the ones not advertising for drivers. The ones that advertise in these little books and stuff that are every time you open something, there's an ad here. There's a Google ad. There's a Facebook ad. There's a ad on Twitter. There's a TikTok ad. There's ads everywhere. That's not going to be a great place. Several of their drivers do rap videos for them and do produced music videos for their company. I mean, that's a real problem. When companies do, I don't know if companies would actually do like a produced music video, but I've heard some do. The first article that came up for them was 1994. Nice. Do you think Yellow was banking on a bailout? Yes. I think they were so big. They're like, look, we're just going to let this roll and let people think they're going to lose their insurance. Thousands and thousands of people. Because who would pick up that insurance then? Some of it would be picked up by Medicaid, right? Or they'd go on Obamacare, as he called it. So that's what I call it. They'd get on all these governmental type of programs. So absolutely. And they know, we might close or whatever. And the place is so big, I'm sure, that they made a phone call to their senator and their congressman and said, hey, you know what? We might close. So we're going to be thousands of people out of work in your district here and all these different districts. So if that's what you want, let us know. And so then they got money. Absolutely. I'm sure it's how it works for a lot of large places. Andrew Hurricane, I'm still waiting on my vehicle history report to get released by the DMV. So my carriers I apply could process my application. Government is as government does. What is the problem? You probably don't live in Indiana. I can print that out in 5 minutes here. You don't have to go down there. You can just sign into the DMV here, which we call it a BMV in Indiana, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and get it. Anytime you want, it's free. You don't have to wait. You can get it 24 hours a day. You can print 1,000 of them out, whatever you want to do. So what state are you doing where this is a problem? And does it cost you anything for your driver history report? I don't know what the problem is in getting it. Because here, even though we're backwards on most stuff, you can just print this stuff out easily here. I have a Cummins diesel truck just had. It's the old style Cummins logo. Oh, that would be pretty good. I should have saved those kind of hats that I got over the years when places would give them out, or you'd go to the truck show and get them, give them out. Right now, what? Last weekend, right? Over the weekend was the Walcott Truckers Jamboree. Did you go? No. Nobody went because it was virtual. So you could have gone virtually. They have a lot of the historical trucks up, so you can see that. And they have pictures of pork chops that you can pretend to eat. So that would have been a lot of fun too. But this would have been the weekend for Walcott. Remember, an outdoor show in the sun. A recruiter told me how simple their bonus package was. I said if they got rid of recruiters, they could pay me better and get better drivers. Oh, that's true. Right. Why do they need recruiters? I don't know. Louisiana claims it's due to COVID and it costs a nominal fee. I think it's, COVID, right. I just think it's the easiest way in Indiana is you sign in there, give them your information, your driver's license, and bingo, you have a driver history report. Boom, just like that. You can print it out. You could have it in a few minutes. So of all things that Indiana does wrong, they do that wrong and they do voting. They do that correct and they do voting correct. You can vote in person on the voting day. You can vote for 30 days prior at places all over town, including Saturday and Sunday, like Kroger, which is a grocery store here. They have them set up at some churches, have them out in front of them. So you can vote for those 30 days in advance. And you can vote by mail by just simply asking for it. You don't need a reason. Just say, I need a ballot. They'll mail you a ballot with a pencil in it to fill it out. And a self-addressed stamped envelope to send it back in. And if you don't have an ID, you can go to the DMV and they will give you one for free by you simply saying, I cannot afford an ID and I want to vote. They'll give you an ID. I don't know what else people can do here. So it makes it super simple for stuff like that. Otherwise, it's horrible here, basically. Except for our cheap gas and stuff. CFI is awesome. I just wish I made more. Is it enough to leave, though? How much more? How much are you giving up to stay there? Cherry Chestnut ate the most virtual hot dogs. Yeah, that was pretty gross. I saw that, and I don't know. It's just kind of weird. People should look that video up. GP Transfer just overheard our senior recruiter telling drivers how to cook hamburgers, steaks, and baked potatoes on the engine. Knowledge from 30 years as a driver. Oh, yeah. Look, we did this way back at Boy Scouts. The Scoutmaster taught us how to cook on the engine of his 1979 Roadrunner. Remember those things? So this was made from a Dodge Aspen body, right? Plymouth Volare. They had a Roadrunner package on it, which I remember. And we would put the stuff on the engine and cook it up. 318. In a couple hours, bingo, you had food. So, yeah, pretty good. Tastes a little weird, but hey, I'm sure it doesn't bother anybody, right? So the pay is low. What do you think they are awesome? Well, the pay can be low and they can still be partially awesome if it's only a little bit low. I'm on the search for a dash for the 99 Ram. Oh my God, there's got to be a million of these in junkyards. It has a sinkhole a cat can fall in. Maybe a cheap dash cover. It would, but I mean, there's got to be 1,000 of those. Any pick apart or automotive recycling yard should have those. How many of those trucks did they make? We cooked eggs on the tires of a 747. Oh, that'd really be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, some recruiters are honest. I think they'd do better if they were honest. I probably think they should maybe overpromise a little bit. Say, well, you're not going to quite make that much. I guess that's underpromising. Maybe you'll make $800, $900. And when you make more, you're like, oh, this is the best place ever. Rather than go over it. Did you talk about the wreck in Indiana? Yeah, so I think this is what we're talking about. This wreck in Indiana is this guy. Is this the guy that ran into that car and killed 3 or 4 juveniles, kids, they called them, right? And in that truck, is that what we're talking about? If I can remember that wreck that happened, because that was pretty interesting. The guy just got charged for that, by the way. The guy just got charged in that wreck. So I'm thinking about it. I'm relaxing in the window. So, well, I'm thinking about it. But yeah, that wreck in Indiana, guy got on 70, whatever. The guy got charged anyhow. So he was driving for a company at 39 drivers or whatever. He runs into a car, kills a bunch of people. 4 people, I think, gets charged. Drugs. He has multiple drug convictions. This guy, multiple drug convictions. Where's the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse on this? That's the thing. Why don't companies check this stuff? Because these are all public record. The newspaper said they found him immediately or whatever. Why don't places check for this stuff? When you have driving drug convictions and stuff, why do you have somebody drive for you like that? That place might go bankrupt from the lawsuit, and maybe they should. I left CFI due to the pandemic. I plan on learning tanker. I don't mind hands-on work to make more. Yeah, tanker's not super hard work either. It's not like you're unloading a truck or anything. So yeah, why did you leave CFI due to the pandemic? I'm curious. Did they not have anything for you to do? Preacher Paul, with your vast knowledge, Mark. Oh, brother. Have you heard of a solid company in Casa Grande? Oh, I'll always remember Casa Grande. Macho Grande. I'll always remember Macho Grande, right? Name that movie. South of Phoenix. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know what's out there. Swift is out there, but I don't know about that. The thing is, every dash here in Arkansas is cracked if it's in a junkyard. Oh, right, because they all sit out in the sun. Well, go to Dodge.com and go click on parts. See how much that might be. I bet they can get one that way. Red Monkey Trucking is here, sitting in Greenwood. Oh, yeah, not that far. What's going on down there? Keep the traffic cleared out for me. They said the driver failed his drug test. Oh, I didn't even hear that. Did they actually? No way. Who would say that? They can't hire him if he failed his drug test. Or are you talking at the scene of the accident, drug test? They sent loads of country and never bothered me. That's good. Right. What drug did he test positive for? He did. Steel horse. I don't know about the drug test, but I know they said that he had multiple convictions, like recent convictions for drug offenses, multiple conviction. Is that somebody that you want to hire to drive? That doesn't gone through anything, that hasn't cleaned themselves up. It's a huge risk, and this time it killed people. Edgar worked for Central Refrigerated. All right, they treated me and all the students' drivers very bad. That's awesome. Why would they do that? Trucker Hershey, 3,616 pounds full trailer to ceiling. Oklahoma to New Jersey. Oh, that's pretty good. What could be 3,600 pounds to fill the whole trailer up? Not Similac. Dane, I had lots of money saved. I didn't need to travel the country with COVID everywhere. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so you leave him, got the money, no problem. Look, I agree. Red Monkey Trucking has been at GP Transco for 3 months, and they're super happy. All right, that's pretty awesome. They've been awesome, pay us good, and they have a good attitude. Can't beat them. That's what we want to hear. And that's pretty awesome. GP Transco, to get those kind of reviews, is really good when there's so many places that are not getting that kind of review out of their drivers. All you got to do, it's simple for companies, any company. Just treat employees like people, okay, and pay them a decent wage. and give them a decent piece of equipment. Bingo. That's it. Why can't companies do just those three things? They don't have to roll out a red carpet every time you come in and pick you up in a chair that they put on their shoulders, although that would be great. You know, there's stuff like that. Oh, and I saw a Volvo for GP Transco. It was white with a black hood. I thought, that's somebody that is renting that hood because they had hood damage, but I still haven't seen a teal one yet. Oh, after the crash, he failed it? Okay, so after the crash, he fails the test. Right, and he has multiple convictions for drugs, and this company, 39 trucks, had him working there. So do they not at least do a criminal background check on people? Look, and I know people that have a criminal background have to work. Mark, they have to work. I get it. But there's criminal acts, and then, you know, drugs can affect your driving. So this might be somebody you want to bring in every month or whatever and do drug tests. You might work that out with them if you want to give somebody a chance, but you're taking a huge risk with your equipment because guess who gets sued? That driver's going to get sued. Does he have any money? No. You are getting sued. Your name is on the door. So that is just a big, huge risk to take with somebody. If they have a different kind of conviction, that's one thing you can work with. A drug conviction, that is a real problem. I'm surprised he was driving. When companies say they have dedicated, is that delivering to the same place or different places? It depends on the company. Like I have a dedicated route. I do the same thing every day. I consider that dedicated. That's the same thing. Some companies think dedicated. I've heard them say I-80 dedicated. Okay, so all along I-80, you might go anywhere on I-80. That's dedicated. Or east of the Mississippi dedicated. Okay, I don't consider that dedicated. But each company defines it themselves because there's no legal term for what dedicated. I think a dedicated route is the same route. It doesn't have to be the same place every day. Maybe it's 5 different places all week. Or you do the same thing every week, but it's the same thing. That's what I think a dedicated route is. I like it. Most people don't like it. We get people come in 3 weeks, they quit. They go, ugh, I can't stand going to the same place every day. I love it. You know what you're going to make. You know when you're going to be home, here. And even on the road, I used to do dedicated Indianapolis to Virginia Beach. Okay, and back every week. Same route, 20 stops, 20 stops with a liftgate trailer, 53-foot liftgate trailer. But it was the same stops every week. Everybody knew me. And then on the way back, you would have one pickup on the way back, and you came back every week. That's how it worked every week. Oh, Crony's Garage, thank you very much. It's 30 years in the making. Christopher Robin Trucking. Oh, I heard that if you ever test positive for any drugs and goes on a report, it says in your license. You'd have a tough time getting a job on a drug test if it was like a work-related drug test. I think you'd have a really tough time. You'd have to go to some dinky place that wouldn't care just because of this. There are 4 people dead. 4, I think it's 4, right? If I'm wrong, it might be even more, but it's at least 4 people are dead because of that. I heard a failed drug test stays for 3 years. You're going to have a tough time because a lot of them say, have you ever failed a drug test? Wasn't the clearinghouse supposed to filter these guys out, Dave Johnson? It was, but the problem is, so everybody has to sign up for the clearinghouse because within 1 year, the company has to check the clearinghouse for everybody within 1 year. So they would not have had to check the clearinghouse yet. And if this was older stuff, companies are not going to post this. They're not going to waste their time, I think. And maybe the convictions are probably not going on the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse for drug test failures. I think he might have still got skated by on it. Preacher Paul, have a dedicated route every other week to Vancouver and Seattle, Washington. Yeah, so it's the same thing. Same thing. Even if it's every other week, however the timing works on it, I think the same thing is a dedicated route. So you know exactly what you're doing. It's great. You know where to park. You know where to get fuel. Everybody knows you when you show up. It's great. It's like walking into Cheers. Mark, right. I go remain seated. Thank you for answering my questions. Christopher Robin, you're quite welcome. I thought all flatbed companies made you buy some equipment. No, I've never bought equipment for flatbed companies. Only if you own the truck, you buy equipment. Otherwise, they provide equipment. What company makes you buy equipment? James Faust got a text from Fox 59. Indy truck driver sentenced to 9 years for wreck that killed mother and twins. Yeah, that's is that the same guy? Is this somebody else? Because this was something else I was reading about. Is this another driver? Oh, brother. Is this that wreck in that construction zone from a while ago where that guy ran into the back of that car? I know he was going to jail too. Look, people, part of it is not paying attention, and part of it is doing drugs. Don't do either of those things. Pay attention. Don't do drugs. I think that's a lot easier. Don't speed. All right? Do a pre-trip. do your work every day. And if you agree to a rate, do the job, but then you can quit. But you can't go and get a small check and then stay there and then and then stay there another week and stay there another week. They're not going to give you a bigger check. Your option is to leave. The problem is Western and these other places, they're holding people there with this letter. Now you really are stuck. You have a real problem then. I have a dedicated route also. Everyone knows me at the stops I go to. Edgar, isn't it great? You walk in and everybody, hey, Edgar, what's happening? Right. Everybody knows you. And your day goes by faster. The longer you do the route, the faster it goes. Because everybody knows you. You walk in, okay, Edgar's here. Let's get him unloaded. Let's load him or whatever they're doing. The route goes by better because they know you. Believe me, dedicated routes are way better over time because your day gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Can anyone tell me what GP Transco pays per mile? They are here to tell you. Let's see. When I did flatbed and heavy haul, I never bought any equipment. Steel horse. Yeah, I never had to buy anything on flatbed. No way. I think I even found the pole I used to tighten the straps down. Let's see. They're happy with them. McElroy charges each driver $300 for equipment. They take out $25 per paycheck. No. And now, what if you don't want to buy their equipment? How about that? You go, I have all the equipment. What do you get for $300? I mean, what are you getting? Are you buying straps and stuff? Chains? Or is this kind of a cost for damage to equipment? Or is this actual equipment? And you go, I'll buy my own equipment. Prime makes flatbed buy equipment when you leave, they buy it back. No. Why should they do that? A company, I think, as an employee, a company should provide you, the employee, with the tools that you need to do your job as a driver. Like, I don't buy the equipment, the ELD in the truck. I don't pay for that. The company pays for that, right? I don't pay for the truck. I don't pay for any of those things. That's for them to pay for. And then I agree, I'll give them back in the condition they give it to me, basically. You paying for the equipment? No. I don't like it. Edgar, I deliver to restaurants. They give me food sometimes. That's correct. I used to drive for Keebler, and I got tons of cookies when I was on Keebler. Oh, my gosh. We'd go in, I'd bring fudge stripes and grams and all those stuff home. Oh, yes, because they knew me. They knew, oh, Mark, yeah, oh, you want some of this here? Whatever you want. Right, exactly. Okay, GP Transco, got the information out for that. About half the drivers make a profit sharing. Oh, right, they do have a profit sharing there as well, which is nice. Okay, Preacher Paul, it's a question for GP Transco. Prime lease drivers have to buy, company does not. Okay, well, the lease drivers are independent contractors, right? So they own their own business, so absolutely they would have to buy their own equipment because they're their own employee. They don't work for Prime, so they get to provide their own things. But as an employee, the company needs to provide me with whatever it is I need to do my job. If it's flatbed, they provide the straps and the chains and all that stuff. They provide, I even get gloves, here, but I don't use their gloves. Sometimes I use them in the winter. I go get those insulated gloves from the truck stop, but they have gloves too, because whatever you need to do your job is provided to you. And that's how it should be as an employee. As a company, as an independent contractor, no, you get to provide all those things for you. But you get to keep them too. What is this $300? I'm still waiting for that. It's really easy to make OTP and fuel bonus if you do what is asked. Yes. Christopher, let's see, Robin, thank you for answering the question. Yeah, so it's $300. Are they giving you straps? Are they just giving you the cheater bar to tighten it down? You can get those at the truck stop, by the way. I think I found mine when I did flatbed. I also had a curtain side trailer for all time in the 90s too, which is basically a flatbed that turns into a van. If you've never seen it, the sides roll forward on both sides, and it's got a framework, but it can still be loaded from the side as a flatbed. It has straps and chains on it because I would strap bars and stuff out, and then those would be made into things, and I'd bring those things back in the van. I then convert it back to a van, and it would be loaded, and things would be brought back. So, but everything was provided to me. I didn't have to provide. I never even thought that, I'm going to have to go buy a bunch of stuff as an employee. Now, I could see them giving it to you and wanting it back. It's their stuff. That I can see. They say, all right, at the end of this, you give all this stuff back, but I'm not paying for it in advance. No. Used to pick up on Bisco on Kedzie next door to the Rheem plant. Oh, Rheem. I worked for Rheem water heaters too. Rheem, Rheem. I assume that's what you're talking about, right? I worked up there for Rheem water heaters. We had Ruan trucks. There's a Ruan up there somewhere off of 290. Oh, I can't remember. Ruan Truck Leasing. They rented their trucks from Ruan, and we had these drop deck van trailers for Rheem because they could stack 2 of them up there. Yeah, absolutely. Basically from Chicago. What do you think about these oil in the oil fields? Is it really worth the money? There's usually drivers here from the oil fields. I don't know if it's busy anymore like it used to be. I'm not sure about that. I used to send people out there. I don't know. I mean, gas is down. They just said about 4th of July, travel is like 35%. So I don't know how busy the oil fields are. Misty, I love my Salt Lake City routes. My stores know me and appreciate me. That's the other thing. They appreciate you showing up, especially if you'll come in. That's a good point. When you come in there, you're careful, you do a good job, you're friendly to everybody. They love that because they get so many drivers that are not. So absolutely, and they're way better at getting you unloaded, giving you stuff where you are. You get great stuff, right? And I saw that you got a pickup truck again. I know you love those. For 30 grand, I can have a guy custom build me a 2001 Dodge Ram with newer remainder parts. $30,000. You can just get one that's a few years old. Oh my gosh. The receiver was so happy to see me, they gave me an 8-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer and a box of 50 disposable face masks, Steel Horse. That's pretty good. And right now, that's worth some money. And that's good. When places are happy to see you, isn't that great? It makes the day, the job's better. The day goes by so much faster, not when you got some old, another driver or whatever. That is the greatest thing. You feel better about your day then. James Foster, heard the Hammer's appearing at the Manhole this weekend. Yeah, he has to appear in our band, but we didn't have a spot for a lawyer because, we recreate the Village People. We have a Village People cover band. So, but yeah, I think that it's going to be a lot of fun down there. He's going to bring his big hammer there to the Manhole. That's what he said. And I don't know exactly what he means by that. He used to work for a flatbed company out of Alabama, and they didn't buy anything other than gloves. So they give you the one thing you can get cheaply. They did take $400 in escrow to cover abandonment. When I quit, I got it back. I don't like it. I don't like the escrow. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like it. They're supposed to keep, by the way, Pam got sued for that because they didn't keep it in a separate escrow account with interest, and they lost. They had to settle that case and agreed to pay interest on it. Companies never do the stuff they're supposed to do when they do this stuff. Whoever has the money has the power. This escrow stuff, I just hate it. I just hate it. I'm like, I got a lot of experience. You're going to charge me $400 for this. And you're going to be $250,000 of equipment to drive around, and you got my $400. Congratulations. Some companies make the driver buy equipment that is commonly known to get lost or damaged by driver apathy. That's sad. They should hire better drivers. How about that? I had that thing. It might still be in our storage unit, as a matter of fact, off in the corner, thinking about it. But I had that bar for years. Yeah, you want to lose that on a flatbed. You don't have any way to strap the loads down. Preacher Paul, we don't have a yard there. Oh, yeah, you don't necessarily need a yard, though. Chicago to Joliet 3 times a day. Hey, if it's the same places, right, I'm in. Personally, I think I'd go with the older Dodge because I like the older truck. It would look better on the road, but holy mackerel, I want something, if I'm going to put it to work in business, I want something super reliable that I can get fixed at a dealer also if I have a problem. Where some guy builds it, it might be great, but then you can't go to the Dodge dealer under warranty. That's what I'm saying. That's just you. Yeah, right. So, I mean, we would have a different thing on that, like cars and stuff. There are people that come to work in a $300 car, too, and I'm like, holy mackerel. One guy opens the door, doesn't have any door cards. It's just like a handle and a metal door. I'm like, what are you doing? So, that's just me, though. I'm like, I'm not driving that car to work. Everything seems streamlined. GP Transco makes life a lot better as a driver. Once a company figures it out and then lets you do your job, that's beautiful. I didn't buy anything other than gloves. Yeah, gloves. In the winter, I buy my own gloves because I get those thick insulated ones. In the summer, though, I just have the thin gloves that they hand out there. You have a wealth of knowledge. Thanks again. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Wealth might be a stretch, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here, too. I can't be out here without everybody being out here. So, the $300 cars are often more reliable than the new ones. Maybe. That is why we keep a new car for the wife, because I want a reliable car. So I cannot remember thinking back, the last time I had to take a new car to the shop for warranty work in its 3 years. Maybe the Escort. I got a 91 Escort new. That had to go in. That went in one time for poor fuel mileage. I was getting like 12 miles at a gallon. which is crazy. And that went in the shop. They had it for like a week. I got an Escort wagon. Oh, yeah, Estate as a loaner. And when it came back, it got like 36 miles to the gallon. And they didn't say it. They go, oh, we don't know what was wrong with it. We changed the oil and it's fine. So what they think is that at the factory, they put the wrong oil in it. It's like super thick oil. And I never had any problems with it. But I don't have any problems with the new ones. Now, Trucking Answers Unit 1 is 7 years old. My last receiver gave me a can of underarm deodorant. Do you think it's because you come in all the time, or do you think there's any other reason? Here, why don't you take this? Maybe they give that to everybody that comes in. I still have my winch bars from the Aero days. Oh, those, yeah, are those logoed? Wow, those would be a collector's item. Maybe our buddy from Aero wants to buy those from you now that he's trying to get out. He never knew what you're going to get. Yeah, exactly. The dude is based in New York. He was a guy who sold those trucks new. I'm just concerned about, for me, I wouldn't do it because I want to be able to go to a Dodge dealer, especially pulling freight for money. I want it to be the most reliable because, well, it's down, I'm not making any money. So that's all that would bother me. Ask vet owners about the lack of reliability. That's true. Well, there's your Chevy problem right there again, I guess. I just can't believe that Rockford, Illinois, and Joliet were overnight runs into the early 60s. That's what the old timer told you. I can believe it. Look, I remember, there's some people on here that remember this, that the interstate system was not done when I started driving. You would get a map, and there were still dotted lines on parts of the interstate system. I started driving in 1988. So there were still dotted lines on the map then that the interstate system was not done. You'd get off. I remember Phoenix, right, was one of them that wasn't done through town. You got off and went around. There were spots in the country where it just wasn't finished. So I can believe that in the 60s, if anybody was driving then, that could be overnight to Rockford, especially maybe if you came out of the south side, over by, the Dan Ryan, maybe. Your stores give you Gatorade on hot days, Misty. Isn't that great? So you go in there, they give you a Gatorade because they know who you are. They like the job you do. That's way better than just going into a place that you've never been, I think. Once you go to dedicated, you'll see that, oh, this is much better. After you go in week after week, they know that you're coming in. Oh, here's Edgar. Here's Misty again today. Here's everybody, right? I think that's a way better way to do it. And your check stabilizes too. You don't have to worry each week, I wonder if I'll get miles this week or not. You know how many miles you're going to get. You do your run 3 times, 5 times, 1 time, however much it is that takes the week. You know what your check will be at the end of the week. You know exactly how much you'll get. Every single week, it's the same down to the penny, unless you have other things like you break down, which you get. I had to wait for a trailer a couple weeks ago, which is unusual for me. I got paid for that. But otherwise, normally, your check is the same almost all the time. I mean, it's a Dodge. He buys them and restores them. I get you. So there's basically brand new. It's not brand new to Dodge. Your dad's a mechanic, and he says it's probably worth buying if it's been restored because it's basically a new truck. Maybe. I mean, just for me, I'm not, because if I go across the country, that Dodge dealer over there doesn't care that it's restored. It's not a Dodge warranted truck unless he's putting like a crate engine from Dodge in it or something like that. I just want something that is reliable or can be fixed, because when you're out and not making money, you're down and not making money. I had to get a pickup truck again. It's lesbian rules. Exactly. Requirement. They go, oh, I'm sorry, you have to have a pickup truck. That's great. I once bought a Ford Escape. All right, have it. Next day I went to the garage and it was gone. Oh, somebody probably took it because it was so great. So we've had 2 of them. This is our second one sitting out there right now. So, yeah, I love them. And it's their second best-selling vehicle at Ford. So how about that? So that's something, too. But buying a truck that's super old like that out of warranty, it just makes me a little nervous. Not only will you be down, you could be in for huge repairs. You have this load to get delivered and stuff like that. Christine, do you wear a watch? No, I don't. I have a watch. I don't wear it. So it was a watch that I got. I inherited the watch, so I don't wear the watch. But I do have one. Don't wear one. Everybody's got a phone, right? So don't wear a watch. So that's the story with that. I do have to head out here pretty soon here to get to make my company some money, but don't forget about Blue Parrot. Always, look, don't hold this phone up. Would you please wear a Blue Parrot for me? And thank you for GP Transco for being here today, too. They're ready to answer your questions if you need a good place to go. GP Transco is the place to go. How about that? Check them out right there. Don't forget to check out Jay. How about that? Give him a look. That's what the kids say. 9 p.m. And, of course, Fleet Nav Systems. Tomorrow live for drivers. Friday live for back-end administrators. So that's how that goes over there. So that's how it goes on that. And let's see. We do this. And that's all I had on that. So, doing clicks. Losing myself, of course. Okay, it's a Marathon Maroon 22 Dodge Ram that I like. I like them. I'm just concerned about doing something like that and being broke down and not making money. It's not like you're just driving it around. It's a business. That's how I got to think about it anyway. Hey, thanks for being here, Red Monkey Trucking. I appreciate it. And James Faust, thanks you for coming in. I'm glad you made it with that transmission. Mark, I like a dedicated route. That's right, 17 to 2000. I like the dedicated route to know where you're going. You walk in, hey, what's going on? I think that helps your day. It does. And maybe you get free Gatorade or whatever, or Nabisco or crackers, whatever you're getting. Dave Johnson, thank you for being here. Steel Horse, I appreciate you coming in. Ryan was first Thursday with Christina closely behind him. Wild Bill and Misty today. First today. Thank you very much for that and for being here. I do appreciate it. George Wilson, Max does not build the 12-speed maxi torque no more. If you can get your hands on one, do it collector's piece. I don't know about collector, but that would be something, right? Old Crony's Garage. Thanks for being there today. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Christopher Robin Trucking was in today, so that was really good. Chicken Hauler, I love seeing you here today. Thank you for coming in. Preacher Paul, thanks for being here. Todd McGuire was here. Thank you for being here. Columbia George, it's good to see you today. And let's see, where am I going here on this? Oh, Damon Hayes, hello there. Thank you for being here. Mullet Head, I love it. Right, that was me not too long ago. Bernard Fox, thank you for coming in. William Huglet was here today. Bernard Fox also. A lot of foxes today. And let me tell you, that's what they say also on Saturdays at the manhole. So that's pretty scary. Philip Owens, thank you for coming in today. Edgar was here today on a dedicated route, which you love, and I agree with you. That's the way to go. If you can get into one somehow, get it, I think. Dane Silver, thank you for being here. I do have to head out and make the company some money. Until the Rona's over, we'll have to do these a little bit earlier like this, but that's what I'm doing. There'll be more. The wife had surgery this week, so I didn't get any videos out. She's fine from that. Had her hand rebuilt and everything, so that worked out good. But so there weren't that many videos this week. There'll be some coming up, so I appreciate you hanging in there and coming on this show. And that's how we're going to do it. So thanks for being here, and I'll promise you videos coming up, and we'll see you soon. Be safe out there, all right? See you later.